I'll be discussing how to apply and get the Washington driving license. So I moved to Washington in June 2022 and applied for the license in January 2023. I'll be sharing how the license looks like, what are the steps you have to follow for it, and what were my learning and my failures for the driving test I gave. So initially I'll go through how you have to create the profile and how you will have what all steps you have to do to actually reach the test stage, and then what will happen in your test. And once you are done with your test successfully, what are the how you will get the driving license and how it looks like. So let's start with the first step. So first step is for the Washington, you have to go to this website, secure.dol.wa.gov dot hyphen home, and you have to create your profile here. So let's say, so this is the first step. You cannot miss that step. So let's say I go with the information here and username. So place your password here, and you should get activation mail on your email ID. So I should go there, apply for it. It should be active now. Let me try to log in here. So I'll be mentioning like what all steps you have to do here, and what are the relevant things you have to pick from here. So this is the first step. Go to this website, start entering the details here. So do you have a license record? If you already have a license record with Washington, enter yes, no. So don't have it, so I'm moving forward with no. What would you like to apply for? So I'll be applying for the driving license. So there are three things here. One is state ID. So state ID is just a ID card. That is not a driving license. A personal driving license, that will also act for the driving license, and it will also act as an identification card. For driving license, you will need to give the test, the written test and the driving test to get the driving license. But for state ID, you don't need to do anything. You can just select here state identification card and go to the driving license office. I'll show how to get the driving license office locations and all, and you can get it there with few details like your passport, visa and all that stuff. Induction permit. So if you are actually trying to do you want to become an instructor, means like if you want to teach the driving, if you want to become an instructor in some driving schools, you will find many. If you google in your area, you will find many driving schools there. If you want to become that, so you can go ahead with the instruction permit. Standard enhanced ID. Okay, so this is like so there are two type of IDs here, standard or enhanced license. So standard means just the driving license, so you can, that license is valid for you to drive in Washington. That license you can use to drive in other states also, just but keep in mind you should be taking care of the different rules in the different states. And hence ID is more of like you are eligible for driving in the complete United States. Even with the standard you can drive, but enhance give you little more leverage there. And also enhanced ID is will act as your ID. So basically if you are going around different states, or you are, let's suppose you're the main criteria the main use we see is when you are flying from one state to another. you will need some id, and majorly you will be using passport and all. So enhanced id, you can actually use your driving license, enhanced driving license as your id. But with standard you will still need the passport. If you don't want to carry your passport everywhere and you want id for the flights also, then go ahead with the enhanced id. There will be little more payment for it, but that will help you to move around like without your passport. So moving ahead with the standard, now you can go ahead with the next. So you have to enter your the first name. So they also shown like how the driving license will look like. I'll show you my driving license. Just enter the date of birth, and social security number. For the social security number, so once you move to this page, you can just enter your social security number. I cannot enter my social security number because I have already used it for my driving license. And once you go to the next step, they will just give you WDL number. So you'll actually get this WDL number, which will be your identification number or your driving license number. uh, your driving license is not ready yet, but you will get this number, and you can use this number now for driving test or the written test, and all the informations will be uploaded to this number. And once you are done with all the tests, the driving license will come with the same number. I'll show you next. So once you are done with this, in Washington state, you can actually cannot book appointments with the uh, like government driving license office. So you have, what you have to do is you have to go to the some driving test. They will facilitate you with the state test, state written test, and state driving test. So for me I used 911 school. So this is the one I used. This was suggested to me by my employer, Microsoft. So here if you go, you will see state test. So first of all, you have to give this Washington state test. So what will happen is you have to you will get 40 MCQ questions, and out of them minimum 32 you have to like do them correctly. For preparation of it, majorly I watch the YouTube videos and YouTube tests. So there are lot of if let's say if you go to YouTube and you write Washington driving written test, so you will find lot of tests here. So I went through around 30-40 tests, and I was able to give correct answers to 38. uh, like 10-15 questions will be like very normal one. You can actually, without even reading about the test, you can estimate like this should be the right answer. But for others you will actually need factual knowledge. Next one will be the road test. So here what will happen is you will once you are done with the written test, so first of all don't miss the knowledge test, written test. After you are done with and pass with it, you can actually go with the road test. Now what will happen is you will sign up for the road test, and you can schedule time. Now what will happen is you will go there. They will take your 30-minute, around 30-minute road test, and in them majorly they will test like your little bit knowledge, like how much like the similar questions that you had in the written test, and little bit about like general driving rules, like what is your history with the driving and other stuff. And then few things like the road test will actually contains you driving on the normal road, your parallel parking, your normal parking, your normal handling of control, and your backing on the curb, how you how you actually what I can say, how you actually follow the rules, and how you like park the car. If it's uphill and downhill, you have to keep certain rules in mind, and you have to adjust your steering and everything accordingly. So these are the main things they'll ask you. And they will ask you to actually show actually to you show they'll ask you actually how you perform them. Like they'll give you marks on them, so minimum 80% you have to score overall. And another thing is like how you follow the convention rules on the red light, moving like turning right on the red light. uh, uh, if it's a like junction, how you behave there, how you check the traffic and move ahead. If it's a four-way stop, how it's a four-way stop, you make sure that you know about four-way stop and what are the rules there, how you stop it, how you stop there and move ahead when your turn comes. There is two-way stop, there is four-way stop, so there is a difference between them. So these are the 7 8 major things they will judge you on. I so my personal experience was so I drive for like 30 days in Washington before with the rental car, to get some sense of what are the rules and regulations. I also read it on the YouTube, normal YouTube videos, how I can what are the like rules around. And for the first time I gave the test, I failed it because the city road speed, like speed limit is 30 miles per hour, and I was driving at the downhill at 40 miles per hour, so that's why I failed the first test. And the second time I followed almost everything same, but I kept my car in the speed limit very consciously, and kept it to 25 26. Don't drive very slow like 15 or 10, but keep it around like 20 to 30 if the speed limit is 30. And just practice other things, and that should help you. Once you pass the test, state written test and state driving test, they'll give you a paper with like like certificate or kind of a paper where they mention like you have passed the test. You have to take that paper and go to the nearest driving license office. You can just google it and see like which is the nearest driving license office, state driving license office to your location. Go there, take your documents. They'll take your first of all, they will they will see your documents, passport and other things, passport, visa, majorly these two. And then they will take your eye test. It's a very lenient one. They'll just give you a paper to read, or they'll just use a machine and they'll say okay, read it out what it is. And it's easy. If you are able to see the laptop screen and all, you will be good there. And then they'll give you a temporary license, and they will say okay, wait for 2 3 weeks. Your license will be delivered to your address. And this is the license you will get. So it's for Washington, the license is valid for 5 years. And this is how it will look like. So Washington, your name, your date of birth, your address, height and all that stuff. They all these information they will ask when you go there at the Washington state Washington license office. And in a week or two you will get this license, and you will see the expiry date is after 5 years. And yeah, so after 5 years you have to again apply for it and all. I don't think there is a way you can get the license for more than 5 years, but yeah. Now once you get the license, you can actually um, like own a car or buy a car. You can drive the car here, you can apply for the insurance, driver's insurance, and you can use this license as your ID as well. There's no separate ID. Yeah, one more thing is like, let's suppose you apply for the state ID and then you apply for the Washington ID. So the state ID will be like dissolved, so that state ID will have no relevance. the driving license actually overrides your state ID, so this will also act as your state ID. So this is mostly it from my side on the uh, driving license, my experience and what is the procedure. I guess you must be having more questions on it. Just feel free to comment them into the comment section. I'll basically reply back to them answering you. Thank you.